Hey, ladies and gentlemen, back for the Late Late Show. Good to see you all. Very emotional show over at Web Sleuths, remembering our friend. We had to just hang out for a couple of minutes afterwards and just tell some more like personal stories that we had and have a laugh because it's hard to talk about this type of stuff sometimes. But we got a lot to talk about tonight. There's been a couple of updates in there's a couple that I saw an update. I was like, "Wait, is that the same one?" It's a different story. But we got a couple of updates in the Phoebe Bishop case. Case, that's not a very nice word. Missing person investigation. That's better, Ping. Uh, I see a lot of talk about these cadaver dogs online, and that's coming from the Mail. A couple other places reported it too. They're saying that cadaver dogs have been brought in as the search for missing teenager Phoebe Bishop continues. They say Queensland police deployed the canines at the Goodnight Scrub National Park outside of Gingin, an hour away from where Phoebe was last seen. And they say the 17-year-old was last seen leaving a home on May 15, where she had been living with a couple called Tanika and James. So I showed you some photos of them last night. Yeah, let me get my camera on. Hey guys, good to see you. Good to be back. Um, let's talk about this. I'll say hello to some people in a minute. This is our last one for the week too. So this is the last late late show. We go back to court tomorrow. So court's back on in the morning at 10:30 a.m. Australian time. So I'll have to get my sleep and go to bed early tonight so we can get back into court. But yeah, hey, good to see you all. Glad you could all make it. I know the time said like an hour from now, but we finished up early on the other channel. So I see a lot of people talking about these cadaver dogs, and while automatically even my own mind was like, "Oh my god, this is like the worst thing in the world." Got to be careful. So they use these dogs for all different reasons. They can use it, well, obviously for the reason they want is to find human remains. That's what they are ideally for. Sometimes they just you got to have a look at this. Watch. Let me go here. Let me show you how big this search area is. And then one of the things they sometimes use these animals for is they use them to narrow down search areas. Because when you look at this, so this is the Goodnight Scrub National Park here. This is it right here. It is massive. It is just huge amounts of forest area in Queensland, and you think like this is the type of search terrain that they have. It looks like this. If you see the media reports and the video cameras out there, like it gets very dense very quickly in certain parts of it. Some of it is less forested. Some of it is very dense, like what you're seeing on the screen right now. So sometimes they use these dogs to narrow areas because they want to clear large sections where they're like, well, there's nothing of interest here, there's not here. We need to narrow the focus. It could be something like that. This, it's, they can just be used for like trying to isolate certain things. If you want to keep that positive mindset that, sometimes they fail too. They'll bring in dogs, they'll have a look around, they'll search huge amounts of acreage and they'll find nothing. And the answer to what has happened is something completely different. So don't be like writing any, they found a body or they're going to find a body. Like just hold on. Not saying that I just want to keep positive for it because these investigations can be very fluid. They change very quickly. Information changes by the hour. You just got to be you know less negative about these type of investigations, even though it's never, a missing person investigation is never a positive thing in the beginning. But this, yeah, the scrubland that you see is just absolutely massive. Let me zoom out a little bit more. and show you. So if I zoom out a little bit, if we go north, if I believe it is, yeah. So here's Gin right here. This is sort of where she was missing from, up here in this area. And then you see how far south you have to go down probably down the Bruce Highway is maybe the way you'd go. Is that, yeah, probably down here or so. I have no idea. I haven't driven down here myself, but there's a river that runs through here. I know they said they were focusing on a waterway today. There is a bit of a waterway. The Burnett River, it runs through here. There's a couple other waterways as well. You can see here, there's a large water system that runs through the bottom of this parkland, and there's more up here. Look, there's one here. There's a creeks and stuff that run through here. Look, little creek up here. There's a whole heap of them that run all adjacent to this area. I think there might be a couple that run through it as well. Yeah, there's a creek down here. What is it? The Bowden Creek that runs through here. You can barely see it. Look, it's supposed to be here. And you can sort of see the outline of it, but the tree cover makes it very difficult to see anything. Yeah, so there you go. That is sort of, there's a dam down here too. Look, big dam, Paradise Dam. So a lot of waterways throughout here. So there you go, scrubland, Big Forest National Park. So I'll read you what it has here. Actually, I'll show you the video. So they actually came up with some new video today of that vehicle of interest. And it's just a very short video showing that someone had actually spotted them driving through the area. So yeah, I'll show that to you. That's the screenshot we have. So it's this gray colored car here that you see on the right side of the screen. It's a very short CCTV. Yeah. There it is. By the way, courtesy of Daily Mail. That's who has the video. Oh, that's not the video. That's someone else being arrested. So yeah, just saying Queensland QPS, which is Queensland Police, had deployed canines at the Goodnight Scrub National Park. They say questions remain of exactly why she was living at the house of the pair, but final post she made to social media before she disappeared suggested the troubled teen, come on. How about you just say normal teenage girl? That'd be nice. She had fallen out with her mother and would not return home. How many of you out there think that it's pretty normal for teenage girls or boys to have some sort of friction within their family unit? It's pretty common, right? Saying something like troubled teenage girl, I don't think that's a very good description. And someone's probably obviously been using far too much chat GPT on their articles because like it came up with this magical wording. We should try and normalize things like this. Like when you try and say it's some sort of troubled relationship, I think most teenagers go through a period where they're you know they want to get away from their family because you have these two opposing sides in the family. The kids want to show their independence. They want to be like, young adults and do their own thing. And the parents want to try and, if you live under our roof, we'd like you to do X, Y, and Z. And then you have this boundary pushing between the teenager and the parents. Parents have very set boundaries of what they like in their home. And the kids are like, well, I want to do this and go here and stay out. I want to sleep at my boyfriend's house or whatever. It's very normal. And eventually not all, but most kids grow out of it and learn how to have adult relationships with their parents. Not everyone. I think there's many TV shows that'll detail that, but it's pretty normal part of growing up. And I don't think we should be chastising her parents about this. What does that achieve? What does that achieve for this girl? Nothing. It doesn't help find her by singling out her mum and dad or whatever. Like, don't do that. Um, Chino Moss says, I don't really find it fair to say that. I will say that predators keep an eye out for an unhappy or troubled young people. I think if I want to be careful with my wording because no one has been arrested or accused of a crime yet. But I'll say that a majority of crimes that happen to people like this, the statistics would tell us it is normally someone known to the victim. That's the way I'm going to say it. So I can stay out of legal trouble. Uh, Top Secret 2 said apparently she lived on and off with her parents for years. Not sure she was in child welfare or not when she was younger. I grew up in child welfare. I mean, I'm not gonna jump at anyone for it. Um, yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens. I don't think it led to her being whatever missing. You know, people live out of home. I lived out of home since I was 13. Since I was 13 years old, I lived out of home. This young lady was 17. She may have been living out of home for a few years. Oh well, it happens. No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that yeah, like I think there's a lot of negativity surrounding the media and her parental relationship. But her mum's put out a lot of things, you know, trying to help find her daughter, trying to put out a lot of messages to her. You know, there's a lot of cases I've seen where even if the parents are not involved, the parents have done sweet FA to find their kids, to put up posters, to put up support online. They're just like, "Oh, they moved out years ago. Who gives a crap about them?" Like, even if their relationship was fractured, her parents have been trying, or her mum has, to spread awareness, make social media campaigns. To me, that shows a level of caring for their child, no matter the historic allegations or whatever. So it's nice to see that. We've seen far too many cases where a kid's been missing for like 4.5 years, and parents were like, "Oh yeah, we never reported them missing." And they're like, "Wait, the kid was 4.5 years old. What do you mean you never reported them missing?" And they're like, "They're your children. How does that work?" So yeah, yes, I agree. I would agree. You always go back to the last time the person was seen. And I don't mean seen by people who are closely involved. You need a sighting of someone who is outside of that circle because you can't. Some people, no names, some people have a self interest in keeping themselves out of police radar. Who are these people? I don't know. I don't know who they are. But some people will modify timelines, do things that will throw police off. There's a lot of things that can be manipulated, especially with timelines or how long was this person actually missing. So you got to be very careful believing certain parties. Carolina says, well said, Ping. It's true that the majority of missing person cases are relation to, well, people close to them is the word I'll use. Unfortunately, statistics are true. Marlene says you don't always like someone, but you still love them. Yeah, and I think there's probably a lot of um, relationships between parents and children that go through various stages throughout life. You know, they go through periods of friction, periods of dysfunction. Doesn't mean it has to be that way forever. There's ways of reconciliation. There's ways of fixing problems. So I would just say people need to be careful of their wording. And I just think it's a red herring. We're trying to find the girl, not, you know, not delve into a family court case or some sort of welfare case. Anyway, the footage that I showed you before of the car showed a vehicle driving through the back streets of Gingin at about 10:30 a.m. on May 15, 2 hours after Phoebe was allegedly dropped off at the airport. The footage has since been taken down. Well, it seems to be up right here. I don't know where they took it down from, but it seems to be posted right here. Everyone seems to be able to watch it. There you go. Oh, there's the, isn't taken down now. Someone posted it. And, yeah, so there's one of the searchers going through these you see, look at that, it looks like a jungle out there. Look at all the vines and trees and forest, and there's a dog right there, there's one of the canines. So, there's a dog handler out there. God, they got a really tough job out there. There you go. Dog working with his handler. Look, let's hope it's a negative result. A negative result would at least mean that we can keep hope alive, right? We can keep the hope alive. A positive result is not a good thing. Let's see. Let me just double check there's been no update in the last hour since I've been online. Yeah, I'm not seeing a new update, but yeah, let me take you out to 7 News. Only a quick update on this one. If it'll load. 7 News. There we go. Got a lot of crews out there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's rewind. Yeah, they got a lot of resources out there. They got uniform cops, search and rescue, or SNR. There's looks like possibly a forensic van right there. I don't know if it is, but maybe yeah, this looks like one of their search and rescue trucks too. A lot of resources out there. What are they saying? They're saying amid growing fears for her safety, police widen their search on Friday. Wow, today is Sunday. They say active detective acting inspector Ryan Thompson from QPS confirmed that the search has now expanded to cover a broader area, including Gingin and the nearby Goodnight Scrub. Well, we know they're there. They said, obviously, as time goes by, police have greater concerns as to her disappearance. No specific persons of interest at the moment. However, police are following up on all lines of inquiries. So, if you don't know the background to this, she was supposed to catch a flight to Brisbane, and then I think from Brisbane to WA to visit her boyfriend. And then when she didn't show up, that's when all the alarms went through the roof, and everyone's like, "Wait, why is she not in? Why did she never make it to her airport and then her plane and then to her boyfriend? Like, how did that happen?" And that's when everything sort of went into overdrive. Hey Lynn, how are you? Lynn Jen. It's like the big case in Idaho. How do you think you're getting away with not reporting someone missing? People who are known to them are bound to wonder where they are. Well, are you talking about Lori Vallow? Well, Lori Vallow was playing a losing game of time. And I wonder if there's something similar going on here where there was a short time frame, and as that time frame approached, it was sort of like a definite. So when you get to like a definite cutoff, people are going to notice that she didn't make it to WA. So I think that's similar to what happened here, similar to Lori Vallow. Lori Vallow was playing a game of Lori Vallow got a lot more time because of the investigation was over a much wider area. You're talking about like several different places, Arizona, uh, Idaho, Hawaii. Like there was a bunch of different states involved. This one has a smaller search area, so the time frame is much quicker, and the alarm was raised a lot faster. It wasn't weeks later; it was like a half a day later, because there was someone waiting for her to get off that flight. So Harmony, yeah, that's a very sad case. Hopefully, her piece of crap father will never see the light of day ever again. Definitely different kinds of investigators on scene. Yeah, definitely a lot of different resources, not just one type of thing going on. JJ's birthday is he would have been 13 tomorrow. That's crazy. I can't believe how much time has gone by for that one. Well, I don't know if we're doing it this year. I suspect we will, but for JJ and Tylee, we normally do a 24-hour live show over on Web Sleuth once a year for their memory and, you know, to keep awareness up about that case. Let me see here. So, any updates out of this morning? Let me double check. I think that was the big one that that cadaver dogs had been spotted in the area. Let me check what news has to say. They're saying police have been searching for Miss Bishop in bushland and waterways in the Goodnight Scrub National Park. They're saying the operation, which has involved members of the dive squad, have not yet located any items of interest, according to the latest update from police. On Sunday, police dogs were seen at the scene. I like it here. News.com didn't go with the sensationalist sort of cadaver dog. They just said police dogs because maybe they can't verify what type of dog it is. And there's several. There's a few different types of dogs they do use, including we heard in the Aaron Patterson case. They now have dogs that can detect technology. There's dogs that can actually sniff out like mobile phones and SD cards and SIM cards and things like that. So there's several different types, but there's bloodhounds that search for things. There's cadaver dogs that look for bodies. There's a whole bunch of different types. So Harmony's mum just got a settlement from the state for like 2.5 million. Good for her. Um, Glitter said that's when I found you last year on the 24-hour live show when you were helping Trisha. I think a lot of people found me through when I used to work for them. So, or still do, but not as often. Uh, Top secret too. Yeah, you guys didn't know about that. Drug dogs too. I don't think there's any drug dogs out in this one. I don't think they're searching for cocaine. I think they're searching for a missing girl. But yeah, that's probably the latest. Just that the dogs have been out there. Yeah, on Saturday, items were seen being collected by forensic police in brown evidence bags, and it is not known yet if those items are connected to the case. They also had people out there doing soil sample testing, which was interesting. I'm not sure what they're looking for. Normally, they would do soil sample testing if they were looking for decomposition in soil. So there's chemicals and stuff that the body releases that they can test for. Very strange to see that. So if she only went missing like 10 days ago, to already have samples doing soil samples, it's odd. They can also test for things like have the soil been disturbed, and if there's moisture in certain layers, and there's a bunch of different things they can do. Way smarter than me. I don't know how that fully works, but I do know a little bit. Yeah, I wonder if I can find the one that has the soil sample testing. It's not in this one. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Because there was a lady from, I'm guessing, QPS doing it. Yeah, soil. Let's see if I can find the image for you. There's an image up here of them collecting evidence. Yeah. So you go. There's a cop with the brown paper evidence bags. Could be anything though. You never quite know. Da, da, da. Sky News has something. Shocking claims laid against couple who last saw Phoebe Bishop as former friend gives horror details about teens' roommates. Okay, we could talk about that. They say the teenager has not been seen alive in around 9 days now, with Queensland police now widening their search effort beyond the Gingin area in the hope of finding her. Let's hope so. They say the woman who lives near the couple said she had a short friendship with Miss Bromley. So she's a female, the other female that lived at the property. And they said, however, after a disturbing incident between the two, contact they ceased. So they stopped being friends. And it says here, she said she had once been in a car with Miss Bromley when she allegedly reached under the seat and pulled out a sawn-off shotgun. She laughed and said, "Don't worry about it, babe. It's for self-protection." And she says, "I didn't talk to her much after that. That was a few months ago." There's Miss Bromley right there. What on earth do you need a sawn-off shotgun for in your car? What are you doing that you need to protect yourself from? Like, are you dealing kilos of cocaine? Like, are you running a bikie club? Like, what do you need a sawn off? And they found that gun. So when they searched the property, they did find that weapon, by the way. What do you need? And why would you pull it out on someone that you don't know that well? It seems like intimidation. Like this person was trying to use it to control the other party in a way. So possibly Miss Bromley enjoys being the one in a position of power. Maybe. I find that very odd that you would do that. It's not like you pulled out a new cell phone and went, "Hey, look, I have the new iPhone 29." No, she's like, "Hey, look at this gun. Here, let me pull this out while I'm driving." Some people, man. Some people. Let me see. I find that very strange. I don't know why you would do that. Here, let me go to QPS. I want to see if they put up an update. When was their last update? So I don't think they've done one today. May 23rd. They didn't put one up since Friday. So normally they do these little update, sort of like whatever information they feel okay releasing to the public. But they haven't done one over the weekend. Probably because it's a weekend. They just said currently no one is in custody in relation to this investigation. However, police continue to speak to people who know Phoebe. Well, I'm glad they're doing that. Police are appealing for public information, including any movement in the Goodnight Scrub area on May 15, which is about 10 days ago now, particularly in the Mingo Road and Gaynada Road areas. That's that main road. Hold on. Gaynada Road. I'm just having a look on the map. I want to see if I can find that. Um, Kilawara or Kilawa. I'm trying to see what end of the park they're at. The mapping out here is not fantastic. There's a lot of roads out here that just don't have names, which is great. Yeah, let me zoom out. Yeah, you guys can watch me look for it for a second. Let's see. I don't. It's probably just because it's not listed, but nope. Oh, there's that road, Gaynada Road. Where's the other road that we're looking for? Let's follow it up. You would think it would be closer to the town. I could be wrong though. That leads to that road. Mingo, there. So they're talking about this area right here. Mingo Road and Gaynada Road, right in this area. So that's where they're asking for appeals for information or anyone seeing any movement. And this is a waterway right here too. What is this creek? Uh, Teninkering Creek. So there's a creek that runs through this area too. So that makes a lot of sense why they searched the creek. That's the outskirts of that area. Look, if you go north, it's not as dense as it is a little further south. Look, you get all that forested area, a little bit of openness here, but pretty forested. If you go north, you just end up into, you know, rural type areas. So yeah, that's that crossroad that they're looking for right there. Let's see. Cool temps. It is the temp out there now. Queensland stays fairly warm, even throughout the winter period. They don't cool down like we do in Melbourne. Like in Melbourne, right? Actually, it's a pretty warm day in Melbourne for winter. It's about 18 degrees down here right now. But in Brisbane and probably further north of that, it's almost 30 degrees. It's pretty warm. They're still getting days in the upper 20s, so 27, 28, 29, 30. I don't know what it would be out here. Let's have a look. Gingin. Saying it's about, not now, don't do that. It's saying it's 19 degrees out there, so a little cooler than Brisbane. A little cooler anyway. But has had days in the mid 20s throughout the week. So let's go here. Let's go to weather zone. Oh, it says 26.3. The other information was not correct. It's a 26.3, feels like 27.8, 20-degree dew point, and almost 70% humidity. That's high humidity. Pretty high anyway. So there's the weather. Sunday, you got temps reaching probably about 2 p.m., then come down in the afternoon. No rain, 5% chance of rain. No rain really for the next couple of days either. Possible chance of showers on Tuesday, and then the temperature dips throughout the week. Let's have a look. Not seeing a lot of rain. Yeah. There's the chart for you for the area throughout the week. So I would say with the high humidity, possibly when you're talking about like 80% humidity with a dew point of like 20 degrees, and then the temps up in the, mid 20s to 30, just under 30. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're doing it in Houston, but it's pretty warm for winter. Anyway, I feel like if we start talking about decomp, we're putting out a very bad message. I feel like we're putting out a very nasty message to the world, but it is something to think about anyway. Mamma Mia says, "Oh yeah, hey, good to see you, Mamma Mia. Hey, I haven't seen you in ages. Wake up from surgery." Okay, I hope you're feeling better now. I hope you're feeling better now, my friend. All right, let's go here. I really wanted to find that other one that had the forensic chemist, but yeah, grim update. Might be this one. Let me have a look. No, this one just has the dog as well. Damn it. That's okay. That's all right. You guys can just believe me that they were taking soil samples out there too. All right, let me see. Okay, let's keep going. That's about the only update I have really, is about the cadaver dogs for her. Let me see. 7 hours ago, past 24. Here. So here you go. There is what looks like soil sample testing. You can see the little jars in the bag, and them doing testing on it. That's odd. I think that's a little strange for this point of the investigation. Normally, you do that if you think you got a body. They do test it for soil disturbance too. There's a way of testing that. Could be moisture testing, maybe. Maybe they're trying to find out a rate of decomposition within the environment that they have. Could be that. But yeah, there you go. There's that photo I wanted to show you. So, all right. Let me see if I can get you one last update, and then I've got another story I want to talk to you about. Which is not to say her story is not important. It's just like I don't have too much more to give you today, anyway. All right. Let me take you out to Channel 9 News. This was their update for news this morning. Channel 9 in Australia for the Today Show.
Search efforts are ramping up for missing teenager Phoebe Bishop on a rural patch of bushland west of Bundaberg in Queensland. Let's go live to Nine's Abby Gearan, who is at the search area for us. Abby, it's now been 10 days since the 17-year-old was last seen.
It has, Lizzie, and Phoebe's family are now growing more desperate. The search will resume here at the Goodnight Scrub National Park area this morning in a bid to locate the missing teenager. Police have so far deployed water, land and aerial resources, and they have removed a number of items of interest from this site. They are asking anyone who was here on May 15, the day that Phoebe went missing, and saw anything suspicious to get in touch with them, particularly if they spotted a vehicle, a grey Hyundai iX35 that we know is central to this investigation. No one is in custody at the moment, but police are continuing to speak with a number of people close to Phoebe. That includes her housemates. Overnight, we saw locals putting on their porch lights for Phoebe following a call out from her mum on social media, hoping the lights would guide her home. Lizzie, her family say that she would never go this long without getting in contact with them.
I love that. I love the whole leave the porch light on. That's a big thing that actually started in I think it was the 70s or 80s or something like that. They did it in America for lost children who might be lost. They would be like, leave the porch light on so the kid feels safe. But I like that they're doing it for Phoebe too. That's nice that the locals are showing their support in a way they're able to right now. That's cool. I like that. And they're posting on social media. That's great. That is cool. And the door's open. I like it. So they're like, hey, door's open. Come on in. Come on in, Phoebe. I like that. No, top secret is like, sorry for mentioning it. No, it's just like trying to stay positive, trying to not be like, go to the dark side right now. There's time for that at a later time. Lynn Jen became a member. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, no, I think you probably spelt it wrong. Or I spell it wrong. I could probably spell it wrong. Mamma Mia says my eyes are almost back to normal. You have to wear special glasses. Okay. Cheetah Moss says I always love the leave the light leave the light leave light left on light left on the porch idea. She loves the light left on the porch idea. It only seems right to welcome the missing back. Yeah, I like that. We should make that a more common occurrence for missing people. I know there's different initiatives and other ideas that people do during these type of cases, but I like it in this one. I feel like when someone is lost out there, especially if you're out in these more rural type areas, very dark at night. Some of these places don't have street lights and things like that because it's you get out of the street and there's nothing there. There's bushland. So I like that idea. I like that idea. Should she be wandering around and can't find her way back, that the town will find a path for her with the porch light. So that's cool. Rachel says we do a blue porch light every year for a fallen officer in our community. I didn't know about that. So do you have to buy a blue light, or do the police give it out as sort of like a community project or something? I've never seen that. What do you just put it on, like, is it like a LED thing that you just glue to the bricks or something? You'll have to tell me how that works because I've never seen that. Yeah, but anyway, if there's a positive we can take is that the community is still behind Phoebe right now. So I like it. I like it. But her parents are wrong. I think you can name your kids whatever you want as long as they don't, take it to the registry and then they're like, hey, you can't have a swear word. You can't have swear words for a children's name. As long as you don't do that, I think it's okay. Oh, you buy them and replace your bulbs in your porch light. Okay. Kalisa says, hello, Ping and everyone. Happy Saturday night. Yes, happy Saturday night to you. Not so happy for the person in this particular story. All right, I think that's about it on this one. I will try and bring you updates throughout the week, but we're back in court tomorrow, so my coverage will probably be very limited Monday to Friday, unfortunately, right now. I'll do my best, but I'm stuck in a courthouse for 8 hours a day, so they sell different colored lights for different causes. I don't think I've ever seen this. Someone's gonna have to send me a link of what it looks like. I have a beautiful green light as my porch light. Don't put red. You put red, you're gonna start getting people knocking on the door, asking for massages, and saying like, "Is this the right place? Is this where the happy endings are at?" You're gonna get some very weird people show up. All right. One lady named her kid chlamydia. Really? I think in Australia, there's like a list of things with birth, deaths, and marriages where they check the names of babies, and if it doesn't meet the requirements, they reject it. So I know here there's like a registration thing that they are unable to do things like that. You've seen red ones? You know what's weird? I'll tell you a story about when I was growing up. It used to be a lot more common, I think, with the red light because I used to see them everywhere. Like maybe I lived in dodgy suburbs, but I saw them all the time, and I'd be like, "Why is there red lights there?" And then when I got a little older, I was like, "Oh, those people were. Oh, I see what's going on." But I don't see them as often anymore. But back when I was a younger guy, I used to see them quite often. You'd see the red light emanating from the front of their home. But yeah, I don't think you see it that much anymore. Glad I changed my bulb. Yeah, that other one we tried was causing like a flickering effect. I think it must be the difference between the camera and the light, and it was causing like a strobe effect. I couldn't see it with the naked eye, but it was messing with the camera, and it was looking like I was in some sort of rave, and it was like douche, 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 and I was like, "Where is this coming from?" And we noticed that it was the new. We have a light that's up here for the live show, and it must have been the new bulb that we put in it, and it was causing like a disco effect. It was kind of cool. Maybe we should have got one for like a Saturday night. We could have like had like a strobe effect going on. Marilyn says red light district in Amsterdam. This wasn't Amsterdam. This was more like Western Sydney, where I grew up. This was more like just random homes that had a red light. It was very strange. Blue light special at Kmart. I remember that from when I was a kid. And the old blue light disco that they used to do. All right. I wanted another case in Australia, actually. This popped up on my radar this morning, and I want to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm picking up the right thing. Hold on. What? Okay, why did this pop up on my list? This is very strange. So I have an alert list that alerts me to like new cases or certain keywords and things like that for true crime, right? And it picked up this morning, and I was going to tell you about it. And then I was like, maybe I should check the date again because I know this particular case. Then I was like, wait, this is like over a decade ago. Anyway, I'll show it to you. They say police find body in the water near Cronulla as footage emerges of final moments before murdered Jamie Gao's disappearance. So this was a very old case. This is Jamie here. This was a very strange. There's a photo of the a body floating off the water in Shelley Beach in Cronulla about a decade ago. This was a former detective called Glenn McNamara, and he was a corrupt cop. He was a corrupt cop who sold drugs, killed people, apparently. He was a very bad guy. He was a former New South Wales detective, and he had been charged over, this. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why this popped up on my list. This is over a decade ago. Here, let me just check if there's anything new. I don't think there's been anything new on this in years. I don't know why this popped up on that. Huh. There was an appeal at some point, I know that. Yeah, that's very strange. Odd. I can take you back to when they were found guilty of murdering him in Padstow in Sydney. I'll just show you the Supreme Court footage from back then. This was a while ago, about 2016. This is when a jury found Roger Rogerson and Glenn McNamara both guilty of murdering Jamie Gao in Padstow. They also were found guilty of drug supply. So that's what a lot of this was over, drugs and things like that. Unfortunately, Jamie Gao ended up becoming a victim.
Tell you, as of about 20 seconds ago, they delivered that verdict. There are a number of charges that we have to get through, but I can confirm for you that both Glenn McNamara and Roger Rogerson have been found guilty of the murder of Jamie Gao. What has also just been deliberated, as I'm getting messages from one of our colleagues inside the court, is that McNamara is also guilty of drug supply as well. There are equally charges for Rogerson. We've just been told guilty for Rogerson on the drug supply as well. So in summation, both men have been found guilty of the murder of Jamie Gao. Both men have been found guilty of drug supply as well. And there's only one charge remaining. That is for Roger Rogerson as an accessory after the fact, which is really only an alternate charge. So that really is by the by, given the fact that he has been charged with murder. This crime has captivated a lot of Australia, and only now we can really reveal the extent of Roger Rogerson's criminality and history that's gone before him. One of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt cops ever to have put on a uniform for New South Wales, involved in alleged extortion, allegedly involved in murder as well, has been to jail a number of times as well. So that is really what was so...
So why that popped up on my like news trigger thing that I have, I've got no idea. But it was a very, very distant case now, happened over a decade ago, 2014, 2012, somewhere around there at the start of the 2010s. And it was a huge trial, found out a lot about how corrupt Glenn McNamara was as a detective. So he was a detective for the cops, and he was just a scumbag, absolute scumbag. Did not uphold that blue line that he's supposed to. Did not do anything that he took an oath to serve the shield. He was an absolute piece of crap. He can rot in hell. He really can. He can rot in his jail cell for forever. I can't remember. Let me see. McNamara. So they were given life sentences. I know they appealed at one point, but I think it was denied. So they were given. So both men were found guilty by a jury of killing to steal 2.78 kilos of methamphetamine that Gao was attempting to sell to the pair and dumping his body at sea in a tarp and chains. And they said they had both Rogerson and McNamara had acted in complete disregard for the life of another human being. The pair were overwhelmed by greed in their killing of Gao, and he was just a university student and a small-time drug dealer, with the motivation being to steal the drugs worth about $500,000. The young man was shot dead inside a storage unit in Padstow before his body was dumped at sea. They're saying the judge ordered that Rogerson also spend at least 9 years behind bars for stealing the drugs, and that they both got a life sentence for the murder. So there we go. Sentenced to life imprisonment for their role in that one. So you have a crispy bacon? Sorry guys, hold on a sec. Sorry, I should have probably eaten lunch before we got on here. No blue light for him. No blue light for McNamara. None. Zero. He can have a jail cell clink. That's what he has. Everyone close your jail cells for McNamara. Do it in support of his jail time. Clink your glasses together to make it sound like a jail cell closing. All right. Hold on. I got another story we can talk about. Let's go out to Las Vegas. I got a story out here, and it says here a journalist in LV, so Las Vegas, has been identified as a victim in a suspicious homicide. What? A journalist? That's pretty uncommon in America for a journalist to be killed. Let's see.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Snyder. Marie is off tonight. Metro Police are investigating the death of a local journalist whose body was found inside a shipping container after it was dropped off at a business in downtown Las Vegas. News 3's Georgia Costa breaks down the details of that investigation for us.
Preliminary details of the investigation conducted by Metro Police have revealed that the victim found inside of that bin was 56-year-old Matthew Kellerman, who was known for his work across several Las Vegas publications. According to Metro Police, on May 20th, officers responded to reports of a foul odor coming from a large bin inside of the beef jerky store near Fremont Street. Case details reveal the business partners with Bounce, a storage company that works with local businesses around the world to allow for secure spaces for travelers to store their luggage. Now, upon further investigation, details of the report show officers had to use bolt cutters to open the locked bin, and that's where they found contents stained with blood, as well as Clement's body wrapped in a tarp. Now, once Metro's homicide unit took over, investigators were able to link and identify 63-year-old Joseph Del Rivo as the prime suspect. However, on May 21st, Utah's Highway Patrol revealed Del Rivo had been involved in a high-speed police chase in Richfield, Utah, where he exceeded more than 140 miles per hour. Now, that chase resulted in Del Rivo being ejected from his vehicle, where he was then pronounced dead. Now, further details show that Kellerman's body had been left inside of that bin for at least 4 days. Now, I reached out to the beef jerky store about the ongoing investigation, as well as to discuss their partnership with Bounce. Now, I was told the owner of the store would not be commenting at this time.
What? I have to know. Did no one, like, the guy walked in, he's like, I'd like to rent a storage bin. And the guy's like, sure. What are you planning on storing? And the guy's like, this heavy item. And the guy's like, why is it dripping all over the floor? Like, why is it dripping with blood? And the guy's like, yeah, it's just it's a bit rainy outside. And they're just like, yeah, that's fine. You can do that. Like, where's the responsible service of people? And, people are entitled to privacy, right? But when you pull something in and you're like, oh, it's so heavy and it's the size of a body, it's a little fresh. That's not funny. Someone said fresh jerky. That's not funny. I hope we don't find out an investigation and they're like, humans were served at the beef jerky store for 3.5 days back in May. Yeah, that guy, well, he died a very horrific death as well. I mean, he was ejected from that vehicle and was killed when he went kasplat. So He absolutely got. Look at that! Look at that vehicle. That's all that was left of it. There you go. There's his car that he was ejected out of, and he rolled the vehicle several times. Like that's all that's left of it. Yeah, karma, a little bit. It is a little bit like karma. Hold on. Yeah, it is a little bit like karma. Where's the outrage? Outrage for who? The guy who's dead or the guy who's dead? I mean, for the journalist, yeah, there should be like a memorial and stuff like that for him. But this guy, I don't know if you should have outrage for him. More like laughter at totaling his car and being ejected out of it like a crash test dummy. You could imagine that, right? He's just like kapoof, like when Wile E. Coyote gets launched out of a cannon. Good for him. I'm glad you got done really bad. Sometimes criminals and people who do bad things meet the end that they deserve. So let's see. They say a man was killed in a crash after he led troopers on a high-speed chase through Sevier County. They said approximately 5:45 p.m. on Tuesday, a Utah Highway Patrol trooper was patrolling eastbound on I-70 near milepost 30. The trooper noticed a vehicle come up behind him at more than 90 miles per hour, and he activated his emergency lights, but said the suspect vehicle fled at more than 140 miles per hour. What was this guy doing? They're saying Utah Highway Patrol spiked the vehicle's front tires near the East Ridgefield exit. Despite this, the vehicle continued eastbound. After about 3 miles, the suspect's front left tire began to come apart. The officer prepared to deploy spikes near milepost 43, but the driver reportedly left the roadway. The vehicle overturned several times and the driver was ejected. The driver was only identified as a 63-year-old man, and he died as a result of his injuries. So he got absolutely launched from that vehicle. That's crazy. Hold on. You appreciate everyone's individual value. I appreciate his value to my channel of talking about how stupid people die. That's my appreciation of his value. Woman of Steel says people like that don't give a rat who they kill. Sounds like he was trying to do like a death by cop. That's almost what it sounds like. The fact that he came up behind the trooper, speeding, and then overtook the trooper, knowing that he was there. It's almost like it was like a death by cop. It's almost what it seems like, knowing that the guy would either like tap his bumper and spin the car out, or spike the car or whatever. So could have been a, kamikaze type mission from that guy. So the guy who died, his name is Matthew Scott Kellerman. Let's see if I can find a footage of him. That'd be nice. I like to show the guy who. Here he is. He was a Las Vegas journalist, worked for several publications over there. There's a photo of him. Who did he work for? Let's see. Yeah, apparently he wrote for various different publications for more than 2 decades. I'm just trying to find more information about him. Hold on. According to his sister, she said she could not process what was going through my brain, and that he had been found dead at a business in downtown Las Vegas. Kellerman was a gifted and well-known journalist whose work featured in several publications for more than 2 decades. Most recently, he contributed to the Las Vegas magazine. He was 56 when he died. Wow. They said apparently she got a call from the coroner's office, and she was thinking, what is going on in Clark County? Then they asked me my relationship to Matthew, and I said that's my brother. And she thought she thought he maybe got into a car accident or something. And then they told me that they found his remains in a box, and that's how I found out. It is so rough, a rough couple of days. I'm barely holding it together. She described from her conversations with the Metro PD that Kellerman's housemate, 63-year-old, Joseph Del Rivo dropped off the box on Monday, saying he or someone would be back to pick it up in about a week. On Tuesday, Del Rivo reportedly hired a moving company to pick up the container. When the box was retrieved from storage, employees detected a foul odor and contacted the Metro PD. Officers took note of Del Rivo's name as the moving company called him to tell him the box could not be moved. Del Rivo was immediately a suspect in Kellerman's death, and then he died in Utah after that that crash that we saw. His sister says, we believe that might have been one of my brother's amplifier boxes. Matt played the guitar and had amplifiers. It was a big black box. So they're saying that he might have been put into a guitar amplifier box and then taken to the storage unit. Wow. What a sick person that roommate is. That's crazy. I can't believe that. Why do that? It just doesn't. The guy was a disgusting slob. So the sister said he'd only lived there for about half a year, but he kept telling my brother what a strange guy this was. He said he was really uneasy living there. The guy was a disgusting slob, according to her brother's words. And he said, okay, I'm not going to tell him. I'm just worried about how he's going to react. So I think they were saying that they were going to try. Yeah, that he told his family this past Thursday that he planned to move out of the room he'd leased in a rental also occupied by Del Rivo. And they're saying here, the sister said from her conversations with Metro PD, she expects her brother's death was the result of being struck behind by a hammer or blunt object. And she says, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine him deserving anything like this. So the guy probably obviously flipped out when he said he was going to move out. I reckon maybe he was covering a lot of the bills and expenses of the rental. And then when he said he was going to bail, the guy knew he was screwed and lashed out and probably killed him. There's some really, really just awful people in the world who only think about themselves and their own gains and stuff like that, monetary stuff. What a horrible person to kill this man because he wanted to move out of the apartment. That's it. He just didn't want to live with that guy anymore because he was not a good roommate. See, a lot of people who can't see inner, like no self-reflection of what they've done or what they contribute or whatever. Yeah, see, yeah, that's what I'm thinking is that when he told him he was going to move out, that guy probably wasn't able to cover the rent on his own, or Matthew had been covering the majority of it most of the time anyway, trying to be a good person, help someone out who was probably down on their luck or something. And when he found out, he was like, oh, I'll just hit him in the back of the head with a hammer. And then I'll put him in his own amplifier box, take him to the storage place and dump him there. Idiot died in a freaking car crash in Utah anyway. Like, what was this all worth? What was any of this worth? You killed yourself, killed that guy. 2 families now lost people, all because of a rental apartment, most likely, and money. There's bigger things in life, and this is not it. Geez, some people are just so wrapped up in their own little world. People do the strangest things for stupid reasons. I know. There was no need for him to die, and it's very sad. It's very sad. I hope all his fellow journalists in Las Vegas do some memorial work for him, and maybe create like an award for whatever he specialized in for like new journalists in the area that when they're starting out, maybe they can be awarded something in his honor when they follow in his footsteps. That would be nice. That would be good. Top Secret 2 says same scenario as Phoebe leaving as well. Similar. I think Phoebe was going to eventually come back. I think so. I think the trip to WA was sort of just like a holiday type thing to go visit this guy. I'm not sure on that, but I know she was leaving. I know she hated that property. She was saying in text messages that she hated living there. She was packing. She was going to go. Maybe she was never going to come back. I mean, I'd probably go to WA and never come back too. WA is pretty cool. Web Sleuth, hey, thanks, my friend. I appreciate it. Became a member. And Lin Gen 2 as well. Appreciate both of you. I wish it was. Where is everyone today? Everyone's away apparently. Hold on, let me check something. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Sorry about that. I got a weird alert on my phone and just had to double check that the CIA wasn't hacking into my phone. All right, let's have a look. Hey, retired. No, I was looking for someone else. It's okay. Woman of Steel said, did they find Phoebe in that awful house? No. There's no update right now. At least I don't have one. Let's see. Unless something came out in the last, like, 20 minutes. Hold on. No, I don't have anything. No, the information I have is that the search is continuing. That's all I have. Missing for 5 times. Yep, that's all I have right now is that the search continues today. Unless, is there anything here? No, that's all I have. The search continues today in the Goodnight Scrubland National Forest. How do you become a member? There's a, what is it again? It's a $ thing underneath the chat. If you're on an iPhone, though, it doesn't work. If you're on an iPhone, for some reason, none of the monetization things work. So don't know why, but it's a pain in the bum. SP Mama says, I feel like this case is old. Didn't Lauren already? Hold on. Why? What is wrong with all my news things today? Is this old? I don't think so. No, May 23rd, 2025. Yeah, this is new. This is only in the last 24 hours. This is brand new. No, maybe there was another Las Vegas journalist, but this one only happened in the last couple of days. This one is really new. Here, I'll search again. Let me double check that there's not a better. Yeah, like last few hours that this has gone all over different news places. Like MSN has it from 3 hours ago from the Las Vegas Journal. Yeah. So yeah, no, maybe there was a different one a while ago. Yeah, sad to hear from his sister who got a lot of awful details in a random phone. Could you imagine that? You're just living your life and you get a random phone call and they're like, "Hey, do you know Matthew?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's my brother." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we found his body." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we think he was hit over the head with a hammer and that he was put into a box and sent to a storage location." That would be a very hard phone call. It just says stickers there. Yeah, are you on a iPhone? If you're on an iPhone, it won't come up. There was another Las Vegas journalist killing, is there? Las Vegas. No, not that. There was one in 2024. There was one in the 9th of March. No, September 2022. Journalist Jeff German. That one happened back in 2022. He was stabbed to death by an assailant. And that was covered via 48 hours. So 48 hours did this in 2024. He was a Las Vegas Review journalist, an investigative reporter. His name was, Jeff German. It turns out may have died for his job. He was stabbed to death by an assailant outside of his home. He was renowned for reporting on infamous mobsters, crooked politicians, and murderers. So maybe they think maybe someone might have got him. So they're saying he was assassinated. So that might be the one you're thinking of. That guy there. So that was one that happened a number of years ago. Wendy says that trial was crazy. Really? I don't remember that one. An iPad? Well, that is an Apple device, my friend. So that's probably why. The 25th here now. So yeah, last 24 hours. It is the 25th here in Australia. He was exposing corruption. The guy was convicted. Okay. What was his name? German. So Robert Tellez was convicted of murdering the Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Jeff German in 2022. He was sentenced to 28 years to life in prison, and he lost a re-election bid after German wrote about mismanagement in his office, and prosecutors believe the killing was motivated by anger towards his reporting. Wow. How about don't be a corrupt piece of crap and don't misspend the public's money? It's not your money. It's taxation. It's money that comes from paychecks. It's, people that pay land tax or their rates or whatever. Like, it's not your money. It's the community's money. You can't use it to go buy hookers and blow. Like, you probably can, but you're probably going to get fired. So 25 years. Yeah. Can't believe you would go and kill someone because you got kicked out of office and lost a re-election. People lose re-election all the time in politics, like every day. Like, who cares? Take 4 years off. Go get re-elected in 3 years. It is a weird case. Yeah, that guy, don't be a corrupt idiot. Yeah, be a Nevada politician found guilty, given life sentence for a reporter's murder. There he is there. Dude looks like Mr. Peanut. Give him a cane and a monocle. And that guy could be the new spokesperson for, Mr. Peanut. He really could. His testimony was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I have to go watch it after this. I've never seen it. Chipmunk says, funny how most of us were watching these trials together and also here. He was a creep? Okay. He does look like a creep. He does look like someone who would keep a lady in his basement or something. It does look like that. I never followed the trial. I don't remember it. But KLS8 has something on the other murder, the one we're talking about from today. They say a man killed his roommate, then stored the victim's body in a large container, leading to the gruesome discovery and then the killer's own death. Did they give a reason other than the rental thing? What did he do? No, that's it? Look at that car, though. That car's brutal. The cops are like, oh, yeah, you just sort of left the roadway. It just sort of looks like this now. It just, the guy died too. He ended up 50 feet away. Why did that happen? Oh, we don't know. It just seemed to come to fruition. They're saying a person called the police that morning on Thursday, May 20, after they smelt his remains inside of the box. They say the box was dropped off on May 16 and had a foul odor coming from it. When police cut the lock off the box, they found his body wrapped in a tarp. Brutal. Crazy. They say media representatives from the coroner's office did not immediately release Kellerman's name or his cause or manner of death, as they do not work on Fridays. Was anyone else aware of this, that the coroner doesn't work on Fridays? I thought they worked every day, but apparently according to this in Las Vegas, they don't work on Fridays. I guess it is Las Vegas. They get a long weekend. They say police documents indicate detectives suspect Kellerman likely died of blunt force trauma. I want to find out more about this, how media representatives from the coroner's office don't work on Fridays. I mean, a lot of courts don't work after 1 p.m. on a Friday, so maybe similar. Marlene says, please give a like and a sub for Ping. He works very hard. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. You're making me want some caramel corn with peanuts. I don't think I've ever tried any product from Mr. Peanut, or that guy with the monocle and the cane, whatever that company's called. I don't think I've ever tried it. Chipmunk said people don't die on Fridays. Apparently not, or they just don't get their name confirmed through the media team at the coroner. They have busy weekends. That's when they pick up all the bodies, apparently. It's when they go get all the bodies from all over Las Vegas, I think. They just have like a weekend like pickup schedule. And then during the week they do all their identification. Planters Peanuts, is that the brand? Cheeto More says we grew up with Mr. Peanut. I can't say I've ever tried one of their products. Although we have no, we don't have that. We have Dole though. You know Dole that makes pineapple? We do have that. That's not the same thing, but we do have it. They don't have a guy with a monocle. They just have pineapple. That's it. All right. What else do I have? It's nice to blow off a little steam. I don't mean to be disrespectful to any of these cases. It's just, working a pretty high pressure environment at the moment. It's nice to chill out a little bit. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's apparently they put up a new exclusive on the Mail. Charlotte McIntyre for the Daily Mail Australia. What's his timeline they wanted to... Oh, Charlie Bazzina. Is he contracted to the friggin' Mail or something? How come every time there's a crime case, Charlie pops up in the friggin' media for the Daily Mail? He used to pop up on the Daily in the Age or the Telegraph or something. Now it looks like they're like, Charlie, we got another case in the Mail. We need your advice. We need a detective's advice. They say his advice is this. Like any missing person, the significant percentage of success would be within the first 24 hours. The longer it goes on, the more chances of success diminishes. Unfortunately, as the loss of possible evidence and clues increases. In respect to missing persons, unlike America, there is no 24-hour rule that you have to wait. Police are guided by the circumstances of the individual and what they are told by their loved ones. Well, that's good that there's no 24-hour rule like in America, but I feel like we all know about, the first 24 or 48 hours. They made a TV show about it. There's a successful TV show. It's got like 30 seasons. It's on Disney. You can watch it on Disney Channel. It's, I think we've all seen that. Do you need to pay Charlie Bazzina $80,000 a year to comment like this? I feel like he has better better skills that he could give to the community being a detective than to tell you about the first 48 hours of a missing person investigation. I feel like most people already know this information. Carolina says, I can't imagine how many bodies are buried in the Las Vegas desert. Millions. Millions. How many? Millions. Why? I don't know. Mobsters, probably. Yeah. All right. Oh, the missing kids in Canada? Yeah, let's have a look. Missing kids in Canada. That's Jack and Lily. No, that's not it. Jack and Lily missing. Did they get an update on this? There was an update a couple of days ago. They didn't find anything in the search. Jeez, come on. They're saying police have remained silent as the Nova Scotia missing kids investigation heads into week 3. Far out. Let me take you to CBS Nova Scotia and show you their update from a couple of days ago.
Melissa Scott's trail cameras might contain clues about the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. RCMP asked her for days of footage as the investigation into the missing children approaches the 3-week mark.
It's scary, especially not knowing what happens. We definitely keep our kids a little closer to home now.
The 4- and 6-year-olds were reported missing from this home on May 2nd, launching a massive search of the woods surrounding the home. No trace has been found, and RCMP haven't ruled out the case is suspicious. This is some of the footage Scott gave police. She says RCMP major crimes officers came to her home this week, asking for everything on her 7 cameras, starting April 27th, 5 days before the kids were reported missing. 2 of Scott's neighbors were also asked to provide footage to RCMP. She says the officers also asked about her family's vehicles to rule out local traffic in the footage.
Possibly they are wondering if they didn't go missing earlier, or maybe somebody who isn't local to the area was around beforehand.
This road is the most direct path from Scott's property to the home the kids went missing from. We drove between the 2 places. It's about an 18-minute drive down rough dirt roads. Straight through the woods, it's about 5 kilometers.
I did mention to them that I was very happy to see them and glad that they were canvassing a little further and look.
It dates back to some very early theory on this case where people, again, we talk about timelines, right? And not trusting people who have a interest in modifying that timeline. You hear here those cops have been looking for the previous 5 days. Interesting. Very interesting. Why would they look back that far? Something tells me this case is going to end very much like what we possibly all think. There's not 2 children running around a Nova Scotia forest for a month. There's just not. The bears are not taking care of them. They haven't found Snow White. They haven't found Granny's house and made out of freaking gingerbread or something. Like, we have to be realistic here. There's not like these little kids building a life in the forest, making a homestead. That's not what's going on here. Unfortunately, I think what happened here is, I just think we all have a feeling that we know what's going on, and these RCMP just have to prove it. I think that's what do you think if you're in a city, right? If you're in a city area and you're in a rural area like this area in Nova Scotia, what are the chances of a random child abduction within a city area and a rural area like Nova Scotia in this particular part? It's almost non-existent. Like, the chances of a stranger danger abduction in this type of area is so freaking remote. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's really small. It's really tiny. It's you probably be able to count the cases on one hand. doesn't happen that often. It's more often that, again, people closer to these children probably know more than they're letting on. Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. Yeah. Rachel says something happened in that house. Definitely. The thing that triggered me was the fact that they called in sick to school. It's a great cover. It's a great cover for anything, because now you don't have anyone looking for those children for at least 48 hours. Oh, yeah, I can have a look, my friend. Actually, I did see a donation come in, but give me 1 second. Would you like a free membership? I'll give you one because you did donate. Hold on. I have to jump out of the channel to do it, but I'll give one to as many people as I can for free. Hold on. There you go. There you go. I waited until I saw top secret to use name come up, and I saw that they got one. So there you go. Yeah, it went through. It went through. It's okay. There we go. There we go. I'm happy to give them away. We get 10 a month, and I'm happy to just give them to people. I don't care. Like, I mean, I care that you got one, but I don't care about giving them away or whatever. I've seen some people, like some channels are like, oh, I've given like 50 away. We're like, who cares? It's your channel, it's your business, it's your benefits you, right? So why would you be such a dick about it? There's some people out there that just have some very strange ideas about community and membership and stuff. All good, all good. You feel special now? Okay, that's what I was aiming for. That's what I was aiming for. Yeah, these kids, it's very, very sad. I yeah, I want to be careful because no one's been charged, but I would say that when you hear the RCMP just go dead quiet like this and they're not providing daily updates, they're working on something. The RCMP are a very good investigative division, although not perfect. They've had some bad investigations. I think they would admit that too, especially with some of the native First Nation people. They've had some really poor, very poor investigative work with First Nation cases. But other outside of that, they've done some really good work on some other cases too. So let them cook. Let them cook. I think they are onto something. They are just trying to figure it out, especially now that they're asking for any like trail cameras and things like that dating back 5 days prior. It tells me that that it's possible their timeline may have shifted. That maybe they don't believe now that because they don't have a third party verified outside sighting, that now they're like, well, we have to go back. We have to go as far back as we can to try and find out when is that last point and then work forward. So, hey, Rachel. Rachel says, great work. Thanks for being a member for 10 months. Oh, did someone get the gold one yet? I wonder if someone got the special one. We have a special one. There was one on Web Sleuths too, but I don't know if anyone ever ended up getting it. When I did the Web Sleuths ones before they were turned off, there was a golden pineapple if you got to the end. If you got to the end of the membership thing and had membership, I think it was like 24 months, you got a golden pineapple. but I'm not sure if anyone ever got it because they got turned off when when it became non-monetized. So yeah, that was a little Easter egg that I put in for everyone, but I don't know if anyone ended up seeing it. I heard there's another child, but don't know where it is. That's yeah. I think the other child is with the mom. Like a Willy Wonka bar, sort of. Hey, Robbie, how are you? It said $5 for life. I thought it read $5. I don't know what it said, but I can tell you that that is true. Robbie says I want a golden pineapple. I think the one that we have here is a golden version of the one that you guys see in there now. But hey, I can put a golden pineapple in there for you if that's what you want. Yeah, the baby is with the mom. Yeah, the other child. I thought so. You guys are funny. Great. No markets today on a Sunday. No market on the last weekend of May. Is it the last weekend of May? Chipmunk says chocolate sounds good right now. I don't think I have any. Actually, I did. I tried I was at the courthouse and I was like, I need some sugar. I am just melting because you guys know I don't eat during the day. I don't tend to eat between like when I wake up in the morning and then into the evening. I eat when the sun goes down, basically. And I was like, I'm fading. It's like 3 o'clock. I've got an hour and a half still to go. I'm gonna go get a drink and some candy. So I went into like a what do you call it? Like a service station? No, a convenience store. There was a convenience store near the courthouse, and I went in there, and they had these, and I was like, all right, I'll try it. I'll show you. Reese's. So I found these Reese's that have caramel in them, and I was like, "Oh my god, they have caramel inside of Reese's? Oh, that's like the best thing ever." Yeah. So I found these and I was like, "Oh, I'm still gonna buy that." And apparently they have one in America at the moment. It has like grape grape jelly and strawberry jelly. They're not here in Australia as of yet, but as soon as they get here, I'm gonna try it. But they had these at the convenience store, and I was like, I will take that. And I ate that and drank my drink and went back up to the courtroom. But yeah, yeah, they're pretty good. I personally think that Reese's need the little bit of sweetness because they're not very sweet. They're sort of bitter. That peanut butter is not very sweet. It's almost got a bitterness to it, and a little bit of caramel actually helps. I find because Australian chocolate is very different to American chocolate. American chocolate's very not sweet. It's very chalky almost. Cadbury's very sweet and almost has a burn to it when you're eating it. It has like this cocoa burn to it in the back of your throat. But American chocolate's almost chalky. But the caramel helps with the little bit of sweetness. Chipmunk says peanut butter jelly time with a baseball bat. Peanut butter and jelly is not a big thing here, but I like it. Glitter says, I love the Reese's ones that have pretzels. I have seen those around. You don't like them? Chipmunk says, they are sweet here. You should try Cadbury chocolate. Try Cadbury and tell me what you think sweet chocolate is. Dark chocolate? I can't say I'm a big dark chocolate person, but I don't mind it. Gail says British chocolate is the best. I like some British chocolate. Not all of it, though. It melts really easily. Milk chocolate is sweet. American chocolate is not sweet. It is very... Like, I'll show you. Hold on. Sorry, I have like a bag that has a Hershey that has like salted caramel. Huh? Yeah, I don't know where it is. Can't find them. We did it yesterday and put it away, and I can't find it. Yeah. So I don't know. American chocolate is very. I mean, I like it. I like Reese's and Hershey and that, but it's not like Cadbury. Cadbury is completely different chocolate. It's a lot smoother, sweeter. It's not chalky. It doesn't have sort of like this, oiliness to it. But I mean, just different. But it's not sweet. It's almost chalky. Almost has like a chalkiness to it. And Americans are horrified. They're like, I'm going to unsubscribe because you hate our chocolate. Carolina says a candy bar from Dubai, India costs $20 a bar. I bought one only once. I didn't really like the taste much. Is that one of those ones that has like the it's got like the pistachio stuff in between it, and it's almost like a molded chocolate bar with like filling inside? Like it's got like that pastry string in it. I know what you're talking about. They're like these Dubai chocolate bars. Dubai chocolate bars. Yeah, they're very expensive. I have never tried one. I haven't tried one yet. They're like this. They're like all the rage on TikTok or whatever. These things. This type of chocolate bar. I've never tried one. If I get the chance, I might at I might at one point, but the Reese's inventor used to work at Hershey's? That makes sense. They're like, they would never take my peanut butter seriously. They would never give me a chance with any peanut butter. Texas Roadrunner says, I love any and all chocolate. Don't tell I hate chocolate that. She hates chocolate. Danny says, I like Belgium chocolate. I don't know if I've ever tried Belgium chocolate. Jojo says, I think it's the preservatives now. It doesn't taste like when like it did when I was a kid. Carolina says, yes, like a green color filling. Those are exactly the ones. Yeah, I've never tried it. These little strings inside are a type of pastry. They're a type of pastry that it's like angel hair pastry that they put in the whatever this is, and they soak it in it. I can't say I've ever tried one. I've seen them for sale, but I'm not paying $20 for a candy bar. I'm just not going to do that. I'm the type of guy that's like, hey, $1 each, I'll buy like 5, but $20, I'm like, I ain't gonna do it. Chipmunk says, name some candy ping. It's all foreign to me what you guys have. You guys have never seen Australian chocolate. You guys would know those little eggs that you get at Easter, those cream eggs in America. They're Australian. They come from Australia. Some of the Cadbury that you guys get, that's Aussie. Although UK people might fight us on that, but hey, the factory is in Tasmania, so it's Australian. Cherry Ripe is well known. I know a lot of Americans know Cherry Ripe. We know Americans love cherry, so Cherry Ripe is a pretty popular candy bar here. There you go. There's a Cherry Ripe, so it's like got like cherry, sort of like sugarized cherry on the inside, dipped in chocolate. They do one now that has 2 layers of chocolate on the outside called like double dipped or something. It's pretty good. Belgium chocolate is famous. I don't know if I've ever had Belgium chocolate. Maybe I have. I don't know. I like chalky dark chocolate. Okay. We have Cadbury World. I've been. We don't need Cadbury World. We got the factory. It's like Willy Wonka's factory, except you don't die or eat bubble gum that makes you float to the surface or whatever. Humanimal says we eat a lot of Lindt in Australia. We do. There's a lot of Lindt. Lindt is a big brand here. We get like Ferrero and those European chocolates and stuff. Retirement says, I haven't had a Cadbury egg in forever. Yeah. I didn't. What's it called? Catafi or Cataifi? I get it at the Armenian store. Okay, yeah, I've seen it before. They use it in other Middle Eastern type desserts. You've been to the factory? ADHD? Who's calling me ADHD again? Jeez. I'm just trying to have a fun night because I have to go back to work tomorrow. I have to go back to the other type of true crime work where you can't just sit on a live stream for 3 hours and talk about things. You have to actually go dig up facts and breaking news and stuff like that. The real work. Chipmunk says, I throw the lint from my dryer away. Do you guys eat it? No. Ghirardelli? I've never had Ghirardelli. Although it's not sold here. I've never seen Ghirardelli down here. For some reason, it's just a brand that hasn't made it to Australia as of yet. I've not seen it. What are those? There's a biscuit from America that Mrs. Ping likes. They're called Milano biscuits or something, or Milano cookies. Mrs. Ping likes Milano, don't you? She's asleep, I think. Cookie. You remember Milano biscuits? Those Milano ones? You like those, don't you? Yeah. She likes Milano biscuits. Yeah, I know. I've seen the Ghirardelli factory near downtown. I've seen it before. But I don't think I've ever tried it. And you can send me Australian candy. I don't know. Are we allowed to send chocolate outside of Australia? I feel like it might be a crime. This one's pretty good. Is this the new one? We got heaps of crazy chocolate here. Here, Australian. Ping likes Kit Kat. So Ping likes a good Kit Kat. That's what I like. Or a Bueno. Bueno bars are pretty good. What am I going to show you? I was going to show you like a collection of different Australian chocolates. There's all different ones. There's like heaps of different ones. That's an English one. Who put this photo up and said this is an example of Australian chocolates? Half of these things look like the UK. Like this, Corny Big. I've never heard of this before. This must be British. This is a Milka bar. This is from Europe. I like Milka bars too. This is Ferrero. This is from Europe. And Duplo. This is also European from Ferrero. So this is not Australian, although Bounty is. Bounties are Americans might like a Bounty bar. That is like full of coconut. This thing is like chocolate coated coconut. It's pretty good. I like a Bounty every now and then. They're pretty good. Lion bar, that is definitely UK. Twix and things like that. Mars bar. You guys have Mars bars. Snickers. Do you guys have Snickers in America? It's sort of like a payday bar. So if you guys have ever had a payday bar, it's sort of like that. That's what a Snickers is. It's like peanuts, caramel, chocolate, and nougat. Sort of like a payday bar. Sort of. Less peanuts. It's only got peanuts on the top. So. Can't trust any of that online Australian chocolate information. They're part of Big Chocolate. They're trying to hide all the facts from everyone. Bounty here has a guy on it. He soaks up my messes. Oh, it's a paper towel. Yeah. You have Snickers in the US. Okay. True crime and food with Ping. I blame all of you. Every time we do one of these live streams on a weekend, you always get me onto food. Every time. Every weekend. Every single weekend, you guys get me onto some sort of food topic. Pizza, chocolate, ice cream, talking about anything to do with food. I blame all of you guys. That's what I do. I blame all of you. Woman of Steel said, we used to have Mars bars here. I cried when they quit selling them. Payday is delicious. What do you mean used to have Mars bars? I don't understand. Really like to talk about meat pies. Meat pies? I like meat pies. Cadbury trademarked their purple color. Yeah, they did. Retardant says you're blaming us, we blame Ping. Oh, you finished the caramel drumstick? Drumsticks are pretty good. Trisha loves Taco Bell. I don't know if she actually loves Taco Bell. That's a rumor I started. I don't know if she actually does. That's a thing that Ping started many years ago. I used to make jokes that Trish was always late because she was going to buy Taco Bell. I don't know if she actually does love Taco Bell or not. She may, but that is a rumor that I had a hand in propagating for many years, making jokes about her always being late because of Taco Bell. She might actually like it. I think she likes cream of wheat. That's her favorite thing in the world. Let's see. No more Mars bars? Really? What? Yeah, no more. They discontinued it in 2002? What? Ah, your Mars bar is different. It has almonds in it. Okay. So a Mars bar in Australia doesn't have any almonds in it. And your Milky Way is different too. So Milky Way yeah, this is a good representation here. So a Milky Way in Australia is like a Three Musketeer bar. So if you've ever had a Three Musketeer bar, that is very much like a Milky Way in Britain or Australia. A Mars bar in Australia or the UK is very much like a Milky Way in America. And I know that your Mars bar used to have an almond on top. So there's a good explanation. Mars bar equal Milky Way. Milky Way equal Three Musketeer bar. Mars bar, whatever this is nothing that we've ever heard of. So there you go. There's a good representation for people who have never seen it before. So yeah, that's right. I've had this in America, a Milky Way. Our Mars bar is very similar to your Milky Way. And our Milky Way is like a Three Musketeer, but smaller. The ones we get here are they're little. They're only tiny. But a Three Musketeer bar is quite big and quite tall. But the Milky Ways are only tiny here. But yeah. Oh, your Milky Way is dark chocolate? Ours is milk chocolate. So if you ever want to try a Milky Way with milk chocolate, buy an Australian or UK Mars bar. And that's what you'll get. And if you ever want to try a tiny little version of a Three Musketeer, buy an Australian or British Milky Way. So there you go. Do you know what Ping's favorite chocolate bar out of America is? And I can't find them anymore. They are literally, I bought them years ago. Fifth Avenue. The Fifth Avenue bar that has like the praline or peanut praline or whatever it is on the inside, that crunchy peanut stuff. Fifth Avenue. It's like the best thing you guys make. It's one of the best candy bars, hands down. Fifth Avenue bar. So good. It's like addictive. That's why I had to stop buying them. They're so good. TCHO, that's the best. I don't know what that is. I only eat dark chocolate. Literally allergic to milk anyway. You don't like Fifth Avenue? I love Fifth Avenue. Try a Butterfinger. I've never had a Butterfinger. I don't know what's inside of it. Is it butter? Why do you call it Butterfinger? Is it just a chunk of butter? Like that's what my mind tells me. Jojo said that's my favorite. You can still get them in Ohio. They stopped making them, the Fifth Avenue. They're so good. Like best chocolate bar ever. They're so good with that peanut praline or peanut sort of sugarized thing. So good. Tuna Moss said there's a candy bar called an Ohio Spud. Retarder and said haven't seen a Fifth Avenue bar for a long time. They're really good. You've got eczema and bad bowel issues with anything dairy. That's not good. You like a Butterfinger? Most girls do. No. All right, that was a bad joke. Pinch. No more dirty jokes. SP Mom says I'll email you and send you a chocolate care package. I would appreciate it. Butterfinger. I've never tried one. Hot tamales. Isn't that a candy that basically has chili on it or something? Oh, your email's here. Sunday. That's all right. Most people didn't catch it. Shh, don't tell anyone. Hot cinnamon. I don't like hot cinnamon. I'm not a hot cinnamon person. I don't like cinnamon gum. I don't like hot cinnamon anything. No, I'm not a. She is. Well, you like cinnamon, but you don't like hot cinnamon, right? Yeah, we're not hot cinnamon people in Australia. I mean, we like cinnamon, the actual spice, but hot cinnamon, it's not very good. They are still made, the Fifth Avenue. Yeah, let's have a look. Fifth Avenue. No. Yeah, these things. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it has like this. I don't know what's in it. Some sort of praline, crunchy sugar, something. It's made by Hershey's. Oh, I didn't know they made it. Yeah, it's got like crystallized peanuts or something in it. So one of the best chocolate bars I've ever tried in America. It's great. You love cinnamon? I'm not a hot cinnamon person. I've never really liked it. What is it? Bladder Krokant in Germany? Okay. Tino Moore says we have to go to specialty candy stores to track down many of these candy bars and other candies because they just don't sell them in like in Walmart or whatever. Okay. Glitter says you would love Butterfinger if you like Fifth Avenue. Okay, I'll have to try. I can get Butterfingers down here. They have them. I've just never bought one. I've looked at them and I'm like, what is it? Like I'm like, is it buttery? Does it taste like butter? Like what is it? Chipmunk said I heard the weirdest thing years ago and I strongly disagree with it. It said men pick the scent of Mike and Ike's as scent on women. It's kind of licorice. What? Aren't they fruit flavored? I've had Mike and Ike's before. Aren't they fruit flavored, like tropical and Blaze, hey Blaze. I just had a dill pickle flavored balls. I don't know if that's something you should be saying out loud. Like some people might get the wrong idea. They'll be like, this lady's all about the dill pickled flavored balls over here. Watch out for her. I don't know what that is, but you have to tell me. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I was laughing really hard. I was like, you have to tell me in more detail. Oh my god. I'm gonna laugh so hard I can't do it. Oh, that was really funny. Sorry, you guys got me laughing. Let's see. Chipmunk says I love those chips. Dill pizza. I don't think the dill thing has reached here. I mean, I know in Canada it's really big. They have, what do they have in Canada? Something that's pickle juice flavored chips or something. But it sort of hasn't reached Australia as of yet that much. I've seen them around, but not not as big as over there. You want to hear me laugh? I don't know if that's a great idea. Rachel said we have international market in Spokane in Washington, and they have all different candy from all over the world. Yeah, so we have a place here. I'll show you. USA. So we have a company called USA Foods. I think I've shown it on the channel before. They sell things actually like, look, you can get like Chick-fil-A, mayo and things like that, and they sell all sorts of. I just hope I'm not logged into my personal account. No, I'm not. It's okay. At least I hope not. But yeah, you can get all different like Dr. Pepper and candy. Why would you want candy corn? Who wants that? I don't think anyone wants that. There's so much better candy out there. Stars and Stripes, whatever that is. Grab some sort of Stars and Stripes burger. Okay. You can get like Lifesavers gummies, neon, grape nut, whatever that is. You can get like Crisco biscuits or something. You know, actually, there's something on here. I don't know if they have it. Where is it? Breakfast. There's these things I buy from here, and I buy them all the time, but I don't know if I can find it. They're like these dehydrated potato things, and I use them for breakfast on the weekends. You pour like hot water in it, and it rehydrates the potato, and then you fry it in a skillet, and then you add egg and salt and pepper and butter. And I often buy them from this particular company, and I use them a lot. Like I like them; they're great. They're not sold locally here. I've not been able to find them in Australia. So yeah, so like, look, you can get Kit Kat cereal. You can get all sorts of things from America. This is the breakfast aisle. But yeah, so we have access to a lot of different things. It's just it's pretty expensive. Like, look, a pack of Pop Tarts is $7.99. Yeah, like here, cream rice. Hey, Trish might like that. $10. Like, it's not super cheap or anything, but it's not too bad. If we go candy bars, see, you can get Peeps during Easter, and Peeps, which are Rice Krispie treat flavored. You can get York peppermint patties, Jolly Ranchers, which are one of Ping's personal favorite candies in the world. I love Jolly Rancher. I grew up eating them when I was a little kid. They used to sell them in Australia when I was a little kid, and I love them. They're one of the greatest things in the world. Super bad for your teeth, though. Sour Patch Kids. You can get Hershey Kisses, Altoids. So it is available. Like, you can get certain things. Not everything, but look, there you go. Payday bar. So you can get Haribo from America, even though we have Haribo here too, but not the ones that you have. We have different ones. Cupcake Bites from some company. A Reese Take 5. Okay. So there you go. Bit of a look through some of the things that you can get down here. So this place is about 10 minutes from me. It's like a big factory, and they import all sorts of American stuff. You can get Pop Rocks and all different things. So yeah, there you go. If you've never seen it before. You like some Swedish fish candies? I bought some of those recently. They're not too bad. They're all right. We have posters everywhere here. You haven't heard about anything more? Yeah, I did an update on it before, Robbie. The only update I have is they put out some dogs today from the police, but I haven't seen. Yeah, that's right. You're up in that area, right, Robbie? You're up in that area near. I don't want to give out the name, but yeah, not a lot of updates this afternoon for the search for her, unfortunately. What? Oh my God, really? So apparently there is a stabbing at Northland Shopping Centre in Melbourne. Customers in a Melbourne shopping centre have reported a horror stabbing that left staff and shoppers cowering for cover with a teenager in serious conditions. Emergency services were called to the shopping centre at 2:39 p.m. Upon reports of an assault. Police responded to reports of numerous people fighting. Oh my god, probably kids fighting again. Oh, it is. It's teenagers with knives again. Fucking hell. Sorry about the swearing. So sick of it. Can you stop carrying knives, you absolute dumbasses? Can you please stop? Like, why the F do you have something that looks like a freaking samurai sword? Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, you shut down an entire shopping center to look hard so you could look like a tough guy. You'll grow up some point in time and you'll learn that you look like an absolute idiot. Like, stop it. Stop carrying knives everywhere. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so kids fighting again with this. It's ridiculous. Like, all that's going to happen is you're going to die because they're going to pull out a knife and then stab you in the heart, or you're going to kill someone and go to jail. Those are really the two options. Might not happen today, might not happen tomorrow, but one day you're going to get into one of these altercations with knives, and that is going to be the outcome. Maybe at the same time, you're going to get in a fight, they're going to stab you, you'll die, you'll stab them, they'll die. Like, you're just doing stupid things. Like, go home. Go back, go home. Take your knives home. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there was a mass stabbing out there. We also had this weird one last night. There was a incident in Melbourne where a cop was pinned against a wall. He ended up getting pinned against a wall in Melbourne during an arrest. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Bloody people with knives though. Cop. Yeah, it was last night. Yeah, so they killed a woman. So this woman was in a car, and the car hit the officer and pinned the officer against a wall. The cop that got pinned shot and killed the woman in the vehicle. So this was in South Melbourne last night. See, woman killed and police officer hit by car in Melbourne. But they end up, so you can, yeah, if I blow up this photo, you can see the gunshot through the windshield here. So as that car was driving towards him, he fired into the car, killed the woman, and then the car pinned him against the wall. And that was they shut down the entire suburb last night. That was in South Melbourne. Actually, yeah. Yeah, so what they were actually trying to do, they were actually trying to arrest a different person, a man. And during this, somehow this happened. And then that car ended up going towards the officer and he fired through that windshield and killed her. So this young woman got shot and killed by cops for freaking no reason. Like, not saying the cop killed her for no reason. I'm saying she didn't need to do that to invoke the response from police. I'm saying, like, it's very silly to do this. Just let them do their job. Like, now you're dead, lying in a morgue because of your own decisions. Same with the people with the giant knives. You'll be lying in a morgue one day because of your choices. And the community's sick of it. They are. The wider community of Melbourne is over it. They're so tired of it. They're tired of people making really silly choices. Texas says woman stabbed 18 in Germany and Hamburg. Oh wow. I didn't actually see it was in Hamburg, Germany. Yeah, let me close. I've got like 140 links open. Hold on. I got far too many things open. Hold on, guys. right. Okay. In Hamburg, Germany, you said?
Now, the aftermath of an apparent knife attack at a train station in Hamburg. An attacker stabbed people at the Central Railway station earlier today, injuring 12, 6 of them critically, the authorities say. The person attacked people with a knife on the platform between tracks 13 and 14 in the station there. Police saying that a suspect has been arrested, but not giving details. Now, Hamburg's fire service says that 6 people sustained life-threatening injuries, while another 3 were seriously injured and 3 had slight injuries. Authorities not giving any information at the moment.
Yeah, that looks pretty. There's been a lot of crazy, like, mass events over the past few days. There's been a few. So we've had a couple in Melbourne, although that stabbing at the shopping centre seems to only have injured 1 teenager. We had that weird event in South Melbourne last night where that cop got pinned by a car to a wall, and then he fired through the windshield and killed the woman in the car. Hey Lynn Jen, bye. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I know we've gone pretty late. We've been on for a few hours. Having a bad day, go back to bed and leave others alone. That's right. Yes, you can. I've got, yes. Oh, she emailed me. I think she emailed me. Yes, she did. She emailed me. It's okay. I got it. I'll get in touch. So we do have the PO box up and running. I sort of was going to leave it till after trial, but I've had a couple of requests for it in the last few days. So we may we may make it public maybe early this week. So we do have a brand new PO box. We had one last year. That one ran out at the end of the year, and then we got a different one this year. So we've had 3 so far, but we've never given it out. But yeah, we should be able to give this one out now. Let's see. We were just going to wait until after the trial had concluded. We didn't want any people, like, I don't know, sending random stuff during the trial, or something that could cause issues or something. So we were sort of leaving it, but yeah, we could give it out soon for people. By the way, Wendy, thank you very much for becoming a new member, by the way. I didn't see that earlier. I gifted 5 people. I'm glad they got it. My friend Websleuth became a member. Lynn Jen, who just left, became a member. And Rachel's been a member for 10 months. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we're going to wind down. I still got a lot of things to do before I head back to trial tomorrow. So we're back on the bloody treadmill for tomorrow morning, and we're back into court. So we'll be back into the Aaron Patterson trial from 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll have updates on the Twitter throughout the day. So I normally post, like, who our witnesses are. If there's any sort of bits of information I think should be posted quicker than the podcast, I do that. And then we do the podcast in the evening. So we do depending on how many witnesses, it runs from anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour and a half, 2 hours. It just depends how much information there is. So you can mail me Butterfingers now. I appreciate it. That would be, we could do that. You guys want to see me open fan mail on the channel? I think we opened one from I'm having a weird mental blank. What's going on? From DJ. We opened cookies. I got Girl Scout cookies from DJ a couple of months ago. We have been eating our way through them throughout the trial. So every afternoon I come home and I've got a pack of lemon cookies on the on the computer here, and I just like eat them while I'm like editing stuff out. So they've been really handy actually. So yes, have a good night, everyone. I hope it was a fun show. It was nice to unwind a little bit. Trial days are super stressful. They're just very intense. There's a lot going on. It's very different from like reporting this type of stuff. There's just a lot of like stuff swirling around your head that you have to be mindful of, and laws and things that you have to make sure you're not violating. There's just it's just a lot of mental power compared to, well, this is mental power too, but it's just different. It's just a different type of thing. So we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I hope you all had a bit of fun. I know we had a bit of a sad show on Web Sleuths earlier, but I hope this was just a bit of fun because I wanted to just hang out, get to see all the people that I haven't been able to see for about a month because it's too late at night. By the time I get home and do the notes, a lot of these Americans are asleep at that time, so they're not awake. So it was fun. I'm glad you guys all had fun. You'll be catching most of the show on the replay. I hope you do. I hope you do. Happy, yeah. Yes, thank you for that. Great show. Just really enjoy knowing your hard work will pay off. I hope so. I am sort of just ready for the, like I said, I'll be sad when it's over because it's sort of like a really big chapter that we have been waiting for 2 years to do. And it's been a really big part of this channel for like 2 years to get to this trial. But I'll also sort of somewhat be happy it's over because I can go back to my normal routine for a little while. But we are going to go out to another trial this year, maybe two. Depends on timing and when they actually go to trial. But we're looking at doing Samantha Murphy and Isla Bell. But Isla Bell might end up being 2026. I was talking to someone today that is involved in that case that's a journalist, and they were saying they believe it may not happen this year. They were saying due to the delays that have already happened, it may get pushed out to early 2026. But we'll see. If it ends up being late 2025, then I'll go. Even if it's next year, I'll go. But we are going to Samantha Murphy at some point later this year. I don't have a date right now, but when I do, I'll let you know, and we'll go to that. So the trial coverage will not stop. We will be heading to more of them now in the future. Wow, possibly top secret to you, possibly, yeah, we'll see. But that one would be in a different state. That one, I try to do the ones in Victoria because I can get to them. Did the judge say the trial would go until the 7th, 4th of the 7th? No. I think if they do the entire 6 weeks, it would be, so this week is week 5. It would be next week, which would be 5th, 6th. So it would be 4th of the 6th. So it'd be 4th of June. April, January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah. 4th of June would be the last week for it. So it'd be next week. Next week would be the last week for this trial if they don't extend it or, something like that. But it was booked in for 6 weeks. This week is week 5 tomorrow. So about a week or so, a week and a half, something like that may be left. We'll see. They don't tell us, I promise. I'm not hiding information from you. They don't sit down and go, yes, we got to tell the journalists how this works. Like, no, they don't do that. They just sort of are there to make sure we don't break any laws and make sure we get people's names right. That's what they're really big on. They want us to get people's names spelt right. So, like, if we hear something and the spelling's not, like, we can't get it, it's like a German last name or something. We'll be like, hey, how do you spell that? And they'll be like, hey, it's SCHABTT, whatever. And they'll make sure that we get the correct spelling. But other than that, like it's not what you guys think. We're not getting all this like inside information on trial preparation, and what the prosecution's going to do. Like, they don't tell us anything like that. We're just media. They just want us to do our job. Yeah, not 4th of July. I don't think anyone said 4th of July or anywhere in July. I think it wouldn't be that long. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. I know what you're talking about now. The trial will finish soon. When, I don't know. But there is a period where between sentencing, verdict and sentencing, there is a gap. So there'll be a gap for like pre-sentencing reports and things like that they have to do, sentencing recommendations, psychological recommendations, all sorts of things that could affect sentencing. Those all take place between when a verdict happens and then the sentencing for the verdict, if it is a guilty verdict. That only happens if it's a guilty verdict. If it's a not guilty verdict, I think it just ends. I think the trial ends and it's all over and we all go home. So that's sort of how it works. So yeah, it could be July if it went that way. You don't know how it's going to go. It's up to the jury. So it's up to the jury to do their job, and it's all in their hands. All the evidence that we hear is not for us, it's for them. So those however many people, it's for them. Their job is to find the truth. So we'll see what they can do. Yeah, it's normally between a month and about 6 weeks. They don't normally like to do it longer than that. It's normally like between 4 weeks and 6-7 weeks after the verdict. So Wendy says happy you're able to go and report on the trial. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a really busy month, really mental. It's been mental to be just all over the place for an entire month. Been here, been there, been back to Melbourne, been up there, been to Morwell, been back again, been here and there, in and out of a courtroom, in and out of security. So like, you guys don't understand, when we go through security, I have to take out everything. My keys, my wallet, my sunglasses, my laptop, like my drink bottles, my like whatever, like everything has to come out. And then I'm walking around with all this stuff for like 10 minutes until I can find somewhere to sit down and put it all back in my backpack, because you have to take everything out. Anything that's got a battery, anything that's got metal, you have to take everything out of your pockets, take off jackets, everything. So, and we have to go in and out of security like a few times a day. So when I go to lunch, I have to take everything with me, have to come back in, I have to go through security again. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and then when you leave, you just leave. You don't have to go back in, but at least a couple of times a day you have to go through the security scanners. And so you take everything out, it goes through the scanner like at an airport, and then you go through a metal detector, and if you set it off, you have to go back, and they're like, what did you forget? And you're like, oh, my sunglasses, and you have to give it to them, and you walk through again, and then they wand you. And so it's I mean, they do a good job. The security I've met have been some of the nicest people. They're very understanding. You know, if you forget your glasses or headphones or something, like, they're pretty chill people. When they see that you're there every day, they sort of get to know you a little bit, and they know that you're not like some random person trying to get into the courthouse. But they do a good job, and they get people in and out as fast as they can. So they do a great job. All right. That's enough court things. I got courts tomorrow. My mind is like, court is tomorrow, 24 hours. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. I hope we get some better updates on Phoebe, maybe tomorrow or the day after. If we do, I might pop on and do a very quick update, because I'm very invested in trying to see if she can go home. I would like her to head home to her family. So good night, everyone. Oh, by the way, thank you to, I don't want to use their real name, but was that you, top secret to you? Did you leave a name in this one? Click to see it on here. Okay. Yeah, top secret to you. Thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate it through the show. That's very kind of you. I didn't want to give out your real name, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Helps out a lot. The trials just costed an absolute bomb, but it's been worth it. It's been worth it. I sound like I think it's just cold. I think it's just cold here. We're in winter now. Probably that, and I've been talking for almost 3.5 hours or something like that. I mean, we hopped on Web Sleuths at 12:30 Melbourne time, and it's 4 p.m. So a lot of talking and stuff like that. So I'll be fine. It's winter. Everyone's a little congested and stuff like that. I'll get over it. I will live. I will live. It'll be fine. All right. Love you all. Let's get out of here for the night. I will see you tomorrow night for day 19 of the Aaron Patterson trial for my notes and updates tomorrow night. Love you all. See you later. Can't wait to turn the freaking comments back on. Have a great night out there. Have a great rest of your weekend. Oh, long weekend if you're in America, Memorial Day. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope you do something that's meaningful for you all. And yeah. Have a great Memorial Day weekend 2025. Peace out. Good night. Bye.